chanting. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvignanti e bhuridajana. It says in the Bhagavata that when you are hearing or you are discussing about the holy words, the one who is discussing or the person who is listening receives that wonderful blessings that when a person gets after giving a lot of property in donation. So like this is the first, always in our Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, in the very first sloka, it describes in that way, because each and every word is a holy word, and each and every word said by the God himself, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. In the last time we discussed about the Sri Ramakrishna talking with Narendra and other devotees, and then he is telling to the Narendranath a very important sentence. He said, pure knowledge and pure love are one and the same thing. The most of the time that people are fighting with this too. You know, traditionally in Hinduism, we are having 4 ways for God realization. One is knowledge, that is jnana, devotion, bhakti, karma, that work, and also meditation, dhyana. So these 4 paths. Here he mentioned about the 2, pure knowledge and at the same time pure devotion. So this is very, very interesting. The pure knowledge says there is only one and there can never be 2. And pure bhakti also says there is only one and can never be 2. Only the terminology, the name of the goal, it changes, it differs. One, they call it Brahman, another they call it God, Ishwar, Bhagavan. And he said the pure knowledge and pure love are one and the same thing. Both lead the aspirants to the same goal. The path of love is much easier. Though both are leading to the same goal, but the path of love is much easier. Then Narendra, he was sitting over there. After listening this, he was a singer, so immediately he remembered 1 or 2 lines of a very famous song. O Mother, make me mad with thy love. What need have I of knowledge or reason? That is a devotional way they say. I want to realize God, that is the main thing. I want to see the Creator, and the Creator to me is Mother. So it says, the prayer is in Bengali, Amay de ma pagol kore, Amay de ma pagol kore. O Mother, make me mad with thy love. Ar kaj nahi ma gyan vichare. What need have I of knowledge and reason, jnana and vichara? Ar kaj nahi ma gyan vichare, de ma pagol kore. I don't know whether Swami Vivekananda sang in this tune or not, but this is the popular that song. Narendra said to aim that Narendra, young man, he said to the Master Mahashaya that he had been reading a book of Hamilton, who wrote, "A learned ignorance is the end of philosophy and the beginning of religion." Master to him, when he was telling like that in English, the Sri Ramakrishna couldn't understand what he is telling. He wanted to know about it. Narendra himself explained that in Bengali, and Master beamed with joy and said in English. Now Narendra was explained the whole thing in Bengali, and Master immediately said, "Thank you, thank you." And everyone laughed at the charming way he said these words. Sri Ramakrishna was knowing only a few English words, and that he properly utilized. And this time he knew that one should say thank you, so he used that. It was almost dark when most of the devotees, including Narendra, took leave of the Master. So Master Mahashaya is giving the description of that particular time. The maid servant lighted the lamp in Sri Ramakrishna's room and burned incense. The evening worship began in the 12 temples of Shiva and in the shrine of Krishna and Kali. We can close our eyes and can imagine, we can transport ourselves to that particular condition when Sri Ramakrishna, it is all evening, dark, he is sitting, meditating, and incense sticks are burning like this. So Master Mahashaya always gave that in such a nice way, so one can meditate on that particular condition. And he said to him, "I have taken refuge at thy feet." No, this time, he was praying to the God. He was meditating. Then after that, I am skipping a few sentences, and he is telling to himself, "I have taken refuge at thy feet, O Divine Mother, nor I, but thou. I am the machine, and thou art the operator. Naham, naham, tuhu, tuhu. I am not me, but you, you." And then again, "Ami jantra, tumi jantri. I am the machine, thou art the operator." Now in two ways, jnana and bhakti, he is praying. Naham, naham. Not me, it is the you. And at the same time, I am but a machine only, and you are the operator, use me properly. So both ways. When a devotee completely surrendering to God, what happens? His self-confidence is there, capacity to work is there, everything as it is. Only the ego goes away, and in that place comes the faith in God. You are there within me, and you are working through me. So naturally I am humble. Swami Vivekananda returned to Calcutta after the great success in the West, in America, and all over the world they came to know once again about India. And that is because of Swami Vivekananda. And whole India, with so many millions of people, forgetting all the differences of religion, caste, culture, language, they stood up and they welcomed Swami Vivekananda. Almost all the cities wherever he visited, it as if all people came on the street to welcome him. Even the kings, the students, the professors, they all came to celebrate. And when they were shouting the glory to Vivekananda, immediately he said, "No, no, not me. It is Sri Ramakrishna." Then he commented, "You do not know that man. he could make hundreds of Vivekananda like me from the dust of this road. So that is the power of God. And one must be humble. Even after the great achievement, we must not forget, we should not forget that it is the power of God that is working through me. While the master was meditating, some of the devotees, a few devotees, they gathered in his room. Sri Ramakrishna sat down on the small couch. He said to the devotees, now he is giving the hint. It is 1883. 1886, Sri Ramakrishna, he knew that he won't be here in this body. So he wanted to make people aware about the greatness of Narendra and also Rakhal. So he told, and afterwards we will see again and again he is repeating these words. Narendra, Bhavanar, Rakhal and devotees like them belong to the group of the Nitya Siddhyas. Nitya Siddhya, they are already realized, eternally realized souls. Nitya Siddhya, they are eternally free. Religious practice on their part is superfluous. So when you talk about this Vivekananda, we think that a person who was a student of the Calcutta University and these and that. No. He was completely different. All these things that we see only to teach us. Then we are hearing, well, all this time we were studying that Master Mahashaya explaining the Monday, August 20th, 1883. Here, Master Mahashaya said, explaining the master to aim. I was meditating. It occurred to me that meditation, after all, was nothing but the imagining of a form. In that meditation, when we meditate, what happens? We are concentrating on a particular form. And so I did not enjoy it. One gets satisfaction if God reveals himself in a flash. Again I said to myself, who is it that meditates and on whom does he meditate? Again the two indication, one from the point of view of the devotion and from the point of view of the jnana, knowledge. When one is meditating, he is meditating on a particular object, a particular form of God. But he said, why? If there is no flash, if there is no realization, what is the joy of meditation? So Sri Ramakrishna was a very practical type of person. So that is the difference between others and Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna always stressing that one should realize God, and when he is meditating on a personal God, he should realize, he should see, visualize the living presence of that God within his heart and enjoy. Or otherwise, he is telling, and who is it that meditates? On whom does he meditate? This is from the point of view of the knowledge. I am that Brahman. Then how can I meditate? On whom I will meditate? So that is from the point of view of the knowledge he is telling. And Aim said, yes sir, you said that God himself has become everything, the universe and all living beings. Even he who meditates is God. And that is why Swami Vivekananda commented about Sri Ramakrishna is the Ananta Bhava Maya Sri Ramakrishna. When you look at some of the avatars or the great souls the great spiritual teachers, religious luminaries, we find that they are giving only one type of instructions, one type of thing. In Sri Ramakrishna we find together all, everything. This moment he is talking about the devotion, another next moment he is talking about the knowledge, because he was that person who traveled through all the paths, realized through all the paths, and that is why Swami Vivekananda said, Ananta Bhavamaya Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was having innumerable ideas. God is the embodiment of happiness, Ananda Sarupa. Naturally, his association fills the heart of the devotee with divine joy. So, Bhava Bilasa, he is explaining over here. It is good to have a trace of ego, which makes it possible for a man to feel that he is the servant of God. The one type of person, one type of temperament, mentality, that I want to enjoy, and they want the company of God. And sometimes some people, when they see that God is with them, they are feeding the God, roaming with God, playing with Him, talking with Him. There is a tremendous joy. And it is true. So they don't want that they themselves become God. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna is telling it is better to have a little ego. But what type of ego? As long as a man thinks that it is he who is doing his duties, it is very good for him to feel that God is the master and he is God's servant. When one is conscious of doing work, one should establish with God the relationship of servant and master. And that's why he was telling that you are the doer. You are making me work. Please do that. I am the machine. So he is again explaining, and one particular musical instrument is there in India that's called Sanai. When the Sanai is playing, there are two persons that do. One, the main one, he will be playing on all the 7 notes. But supporting that, one person goes on in the same one tone. He will never change. And the other one, he is playing in different tones. Sri Ramakrishna said, look at that. The person who is going on playing the same tone like that, he will never go up and down, no other music, only that. That is sometimes boring. But when you are playing on 7 notes, seven tunes, it's so beautiful. So why not do that? Have the relationship with God as the God the Father, I am the Son, or God is the Son, I am the God's parents, or mother, father. And God is my friend, God is my master. So many varieties of ideas are there. So why don't you develop that? He is inspiring both sides. Next he is telling, M was always reflecting on the nature of the Supreme Brahman. M, the Master Master, he was not a devotee type. He used to practice the Jnana Margi. So when Sri Ramakrishna was explaining about the devotion, sitting near him, he was thinking about the Brahman, the knowledge. Understanding that, the Master Maharshya didn't disclose anything, but Sri Ramakrishna could understand the minds of others. Immediately he understood what that Master Maharshya was thinking. He mentioned to him, to Master Maharshya, like the Akasha, Brahman is without any modification. Master Maharshya was thinking about the Brahman, and Brahman has no modification. It is like the second flute which is going on playing on the same tone. So he is telling, is the Brahman without any modification. it has become manifold because of Shakti. So that is the conception of the Tantra. Without the power, nothing can be done. Sometimes the Vedantin, they deny the existence of this universe. But at the same time, some of the Vedantin, they say, we cannot simply deny in that way, because it is very much present. Though the example they give, when we see the dream, it becomes so real to me. And when we get up, we think, oh my God, what was happening? It was so real. And when I was dreaming, I was not aware that it was dream. I was very much affected, attached with that, whatever the activities was going on in that dream. And similarly, here also, when I am awake, there are so many varieties of activities are going on. So obviously, I must say, oh no, this is also just like the dream. I am affected, I am feeling. That is the argument of the Vedantins. But some say at the same time, how all these things are happening. Even when I am dreaming, there is the activity is going on. If it is the only Brahman, there should not be any activity, it will be only same thing. When the activity is going on, even in the dream or in the awaking stage, who is doing it? Then they say Shakti, the power of God. Because of that, they have been given the name as Maya, Mahamaya, like that. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned over here, it has become manifold because of Shakti. Again, Brahman is like fire, which itself has no color. The fire appears white if you throw a white substance into it, red if you throw a red, black if you throw a black. The three gunas, Shatta, Raja and Tama, belong to the Shakti alone, not to the Brahman. Brahman itself is beyond the three gunas. What Brahman is cannot be described. It is beyond words. That which remains after everything is eliminated by the Vedantic process, neti neti, and which is of the nature of bliss, is Brahman. We wonder how he is so clear about explaining at the highest Vedantic knowledge. Sri Ramakrishna never studied all these scriptures, but just through his realization, he is so perfect. When he says like that, everything goes as it is. And here we find in the Uttara Gita, it mentions like this: Akasham manasam kritva manah kritva niraspadam nishchalam tang bijani at samadhistasya lakshanam. That how you will know that you have reached to that samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi? Then it says this: Akasham manasam kritva. Mind should be like the sky, infinite and free from all desires. When you look at the sky, we see so many clouds and other dust flowing, etc. But we know the sky is not affected by that. Sky is always clear, vast. Similarly, if one can make his mind like that, it is so infinite, there is no limit, and at the same time there is no desire, though maybe apparently like the clouds, it is floating on the mind, but it is not affecting the mind. That is the condition of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Akasam manasam kritva manah kritva niraspadam. Niraspadam, without any desire. Nishchalam, motionless. When there is no desire, there is no motion. And Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning the same thing without knowing any scripture. That means what the scripture said, that is true. Why? Without being influenced by the scripture. Now when we quote, we have not realized, at least I have not realized. But I quote from where? From the books. I quote from the scriptures. Because some people, after realization, they have given this description. I am taking that support of that to explain. But when Sri Ramakrishna says, he says from his own realization, and more clearly, that is the speciality of Sri Ramakrishna. Then he gives as his own speciality of Sri Ramakrishna, very difficult thing. And he will say in such a way, even an ordinary person will understand how it is. When we realize Brahman, what happens? Not these, not these, not these, not these, neti, neti, neti. We reach to the ultimate, and what remains? That he is explaining through a very wonderful example. He says, suppose the husband of a young girl has come to his father-in-law's house and is seated in the drawing room with other young men of his age. After the marriage, usually it happens in our country that the husband is going to visit the in-laws' house with the friends, etc. The girl and her friends are looking at them through the window. Secretly, the girls, they used to watch. Naturally, the friends of the girl is also interested to see. Her friends do not know her husband and ask her, pointing to one young man, "Is that your husband?" "No," she said, "Neti, not this." "No," smiling. They point to another young man and ask if he is her husband. Again she answers no. They repeat the question, referring to a third. She gives the same answer. At last they point to her husband and ask, "Is he the one?" She says neither yes nor no, but only smiles and keeps quiet. Her friends realize that he is her husband. Can you imagine the way, and so very common in our society particularly, in this society also must be like this. So, the example of realization of Brahman. Is this Brahman, all these varieties? No. There is the body? No. Mind? No. Intellect? No. It goes on, no, neti, neti, neti. Then ultimately when you reach to that Brahman, what happens? We become completely silent. And that is exactly what the scripture is explaining. After the realization of the Brahman, one became completely full and silent. But the tremendous joy, the expression in his whole person, in his face, the joy of realization comes out. So that is the proof that he has achieved something which is really very good, and that's why he is satisfied without accepting or hankering for anything of this world. So that is neti process of the Vedantin. They will go on negation, 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 and when they really realize Brahman, they cannot say this is Brahman, because the moment you say this, you have to express within the frame of time, space and causation. And Brahman is beyond that. So naturally, the only expression is satisfaction, joy, unlimited joy, and that is called bliss. So Sri Ramakrishna giving that example, one becomes silent on realizing the true nature of Brahman. So that is why this gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which is the Panchama Veda, constantly in every sentence, in every paragraph of the book, is the knowledge, knowledge and knowledge. And knowledge from the God Himself. We are going on reading and trying to understand so many ways, but here it is. Sri Ramakrishna, after explaining this, that after realizing Brahman, one becomes silent, then he started tasting his disciple. And he is asking this question, well, why do I talk so much? Because Sri Ramakrishna, whenever the people are coming, he used to talk to them always. Why? To give them. The Master Mahashaya, Sri Ma, he was a highly educated person. In those days, he was the MA from the Calcutta University, master degree. And he was a Sanskrit scholar. He knew very good English. So, Master Mahashaya had special capacity to understand also. He immediately said, you talk in order to awaken the spiritual consciousness of the devotees. That is true. This type of people, they go and mix, not for appreciation, not for money, not for anything else, but with great love. When we see that someone very close to me and not understanding what is good for him or her, we go again and again and tell, don't do this, try this way, this is the good, because I have experienced that, you must do this. When the spiritual giants like Sri Ramakrishna comes, they are the avatars. Their main purpose of life is to establish the religion. Well, what is the religion? Consciousness in the human being that they are not ordinary persons. They are divine. Divinity is already there, and they have come so many lives. They are on the topmost. Now only they have to understand that they are divine and their journey will be over. So that is the ultimate. In the Sundays, we discuss about the saga of the soul. It's the soul, the human soul, which is thinking that it is bound by the desires, bound by the attractions of these worldly things. Going on and on, then ultimately it finds that particular condition, oh, this is my home. And that is the joy. Sri Ramakrishna is asking, why do I talk? He gave the wonderful reply. Then Master Sri Ramakrishna now is telling, do you know the nature of a good man? Now he is coming down to the very general level of our level. God realization of the Brahman, that is the highest. But before that, one should be good, a good person. One of our Swamis used to tell, first be a gentleman, then be a monk. Monk is the most refined. All the best qualities, when it is dawning in a person, then you can call him a sannyasi or a monk. So that is why he used to say, first be a gentleman. What is that gentlemanship? He knows many things, but at the same time, he will react only when that is really necessary, otherwise not. He keeps his mind calm and behaves always polite way, is gentle, and try to understand the feelings of others. All these qualities, When these qualities are there in a person, then he is fit to become a monk, because he has to see no difference in everything. Samadarshitva. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, do you know the nature of a good man? He never troubles others. That is the nature of a good man. He will never trouble others. He doesn't harass people. Now he said, the nature of some people is such that when they go to feast, they want the special seats. A man who has true devotion to God never makes a false step, never gives others trouble for nothing. It is not good to live in the company of bad people. A man should stay away from them and thus protect himself. This is very, very important and so practical. We want to realize God. We want to get the blessings of God. We want to have all the best things in our life. And ultimately we want joy, happiness, success in our life. How it is possible? And he said that you have to develop, inculcate these qualities. How you can do? One is negative, negation, another is assertion. All the bad qualities of a bad person you must avoid, because the company, in English they say, a man is known by his company. That is true. Because whatever we think, and accordingly we choose our company, because we feel joy in discussing about that. Some people, they like to talk about the politics, they feel the company of that type of people great friendly. Some people about others, some people about others. But the highest type of people are that, those who have understood everything that we see in this world are folly, vague, useless, very, very temporary. Now whole America and of course the whole world, they are so eager to understand and to know and to support or not support in the fray of the president elections. But then what? 4 years, again it will come. So many of the channels, the TV channels, they are not showing anything else except that. For last 1 year it is going on. And all people are agog. Wherever you go, people are all the time looking at that, as if there is nothing else in this world except that. But that is very, very temporary. And that is the reason one should avoid that, know that, understand that, keep that in mind, but don't be influenced by that. And Sri Ramakrishna said, it is not good to live in the company of the bad people. Who are bad people? Those who always think about the body, the comfort of the body. They are bad people, because they don't have the ideas of the infinite. They only think very limited way, and they think this is the best. But at the fag end of their life, they understand, oh no, still I have so many things to achieve. Again another jump, another leap. Again for that, again they get the heart, again they think. It goes on and that is called chakravat parivartanti. It goes on in this way. Master Maharshi says, yes sir, the mind sinks far down in the company of the wicked. But it is quite different with a hero, as you say. Master Maharshi used to listen to Sri Ramakrishna, used to go to every places, though not for a long time, hardly for 5 or 6 years. But wherever he, see, we found that the Monday, August 20, next that para is coming, explanation is coming, Friday, September 7, August, then September. Only one day he went and saw and he noted. Then the whole month passed. We didn't get any description of those conversations that Sri Ramakrishna had. But still we are blessed that he noted, presented and presented as it is. And it was verified by the great personalities like Vivekananda, Ma Saradamani Devi and all those who were very much present in those scenes that has been described over here. All the conversation, Narendra, when the first book was published, he is mentioning about the Narendra, his comments, his songs, his behavior, his nature. Narendra didn't object. Hey, why you are writing like this way? I never thought in that. Or I never did like this. Master Sri Ramakrishna never said that way. He never said that. Rather, he appreciated. Ma Sharadamani appreciated. That is the great book. When you read other scripture, spiritual books, there are so many different type of versions. The quotations in the mouth of the great personality, on the basis of whom, on the life of whom the whole philosophy came, religion came, very famous religion. But if you read, different persons are writing almost the same thing in a different way. Which is correct? We do not know. So that is, here we find this is a book, here is a book. The Tripitaka was written much afterwards, the Buddha, and all other things also. But here, when Sri Ramakrishna was alive, Master Masha used to note, Sri Ramakrishna used to ask and then rectify and sometimes correcting him, no, I didn't say like that, you must be this. So that is the best thing in the Kathamrita, in the Gospel. He mentioned like this, when the Master Masha said, as you said, that it is different with the hero. Even in the bad company, nothing happens to the heroic person. Heroic person means in the very advanced soul in the spiritual level. Nothing happens to him. Master, how is that? Sri Ramakrishna asking the aim, when he said like that, how is that? To understand whether he understood it properly or not. Then the immediately aim, he quoted exactly from Sri Ramakrishna. When a fire is feeble, it goes out when even a small stick is thrown into it. But a blazing fire is not affected even if a plantain tree, those who know about the plantain tree, is full of water only. Even a plantain tree is thrown into the fire, the tree itself is burnt into ashes. It's a blazing fire. When a person is well established in the knowledge of Brahman, in the knowledge of the God, whatever comes before him, whatever happens, whatever maybe the company, his idea is there. He will never be influenced by anything. So that is the God realization. And they always say, in the beginning, you must go to the holy people, listen from them, learn from them. Then you prepare your mind quietly. And that time you should not go on listening here and there. A majority of the people, in the name of religion, they will go to every place. And at the end of the day, they are confused. They remain where they were. They begin from where they began. So that is the reason. It's nothing narrowness, a very practical thing. If you change the school and the teacher every time of a child, you see his development. But if you keep that son, the boy or girl, the student, in a particular school, under a particular care, at least something that child will learn. The basic he will learn. So that is the reason, if you are constantly changing, Some people say, I like Ganesha, and at the same time Shiva. And now after reading the life of Sri Ramakrishna, I have started liking Kali. And of course, traditionally we are the worshipper of Krishna. Can I meditate on all this? Now think of it. Meditation means one-pointed concentration. And constantly if you are changing like this, what happens? There is no concentration. So similarly, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if you go to different places, that confusion comes. Of course, that is not bad company. But still, the confusion, because explanations are different. So first establish yourself, then go any place, and you will understand it far better way. Then the master, he is inquiring about a gentleman who was accompanying Sri Ma, the master Maharshai. Who is he? The master Maharshai introduced his friend. He is Hari Babu. Babu, usually the Bengali people, to give a respect, as in Hindi they say Ji, or in English they say Sir, and like that they say Babu, Hari Babu. He is not mentioning the surname, he is only respecting. He has come here to pay you his respect. He lost his wife long ago. Sri Ramakrishna to Hari, to gentleman, he is asking, what kind of work do you do? Master Maharshai, giving the reply on behalf of his friend, he said, nothing in particular, but at home he takes good care of his parents and his brothers and sisters. A grown-up gentleman is not doing anything particular, but is taking care of the family. Sri Ramakrishna never liked. In those days, the Bengalis, they call Babu culture. They had a lot of money. So they never engaged themselves for earning money or any social work, only just passing time. Sri Ramakrishna with a smile, he never liked that. You are a man and you should work, engage yourself. Otherwise, what is this life? So he said, how is that? Taking care of the mother and the father and the brother and the sister. You are doing that and spending time in that way? How is that? Then he mentioned, as it is said in Bengali, you are like elder, the pumpkin cutter. Previously, that was the tradition. The women, they never cut the pumpkin. They used to call the brother, elder brother of the husband. They used to call them, the elderly person sitting at the front room, constantly smoking, having no work, but all the time having the ego. So they used to send message to him, will you please come, as because is the elder brother of the husband. They never called him by name, and they used to say Thakur, but Thakur. That means elder. Thakur is respected. But Thakur. Rabindranath Thakur. The Thakur actually is respected. We also lovingly call Sri Ramakrishna as Thakur. That is called highly respected. The Bad Thakur. He was a respected person. What he used to do? He used to come and he used to make these two pieces of the pumpkin. That's all. And no work in the whole family for the whole day. And he used to be proud of that. Without me, no one can do that. So that was a funny thing. Sri Ramakrishna joking and he is smiling and saying, is it like elder pumpkin cutter? You are neither a man of the world nor a devotee of God. He was very straight, very clear. Why? He is the master. So he wants to help the person. Oh, is it? Oh, good. No, he never said like that. That is the speciality of Sri Ramakrishna. This person is totally unknown to Sri Ramakrishna. But when he came to Sri Ramakrishna as a spiritual teacher, as a spiritual master, he never said, good, continue. No. He was very clear to tell, this is not the way you should spend your time. That is the speciality of Sri Ramakrishna. Never care for the appreciation. If I say like this gentleman may take it otherwise, he may not come back to me, he may talk against me in the society, let him do. But as a spiritual master, this is my duty to make him aware, and sometimes a little harsh words may awaken his nature, his good nature. Then he said, you must do these as well as that. Do your duties in the world and also fix your mind on the lotus feet of Lord. These and that. You must do these and also you must do that. Read books of devotion. The master continued, but the day changed. It was Friday, September 7, 1883, and I am reading from the 281 page of the Gospel. The other day, I went to Calcutta. As I drove along the streets in the carriage, I observed everyone's attention was fixed on low things. Everyone was brooding over his stomach and running after nothing but food. I saw only one or two with their attention fixed on their higher things, with their minds turned to God. This is really, really for a human being. People should go to earn money. Sri Ramakrishna himself is urging this man. But at the same time, all attention should not be on the body. Why? Because that is the animal stage. If you look at the animals and birds, that is their only one object of life, only one object. They go on picking up the food, searching for the food, and going on eating, eating and eating, nothing else. And little careful about the other dangers. When I observe this, the birds are sitting, they want to eat something, but before that, after sitting, they will see here and there, is there anything dangerous? No. Then they will go and pick. Or the squirrels are coming, they're searching for some food, and then sometimes they're watching. The deers are coming, food, at the same time watching here and there. So only two things and nothing else in their life. The human being should not be like that. And it says in the scripture, Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunancha Samanya Metat Pashubhi Naranam. These are very common. People like to eat, like to sleep, then all this, like the animals. Dharmena hina Pashubhi Samana. What is that dharma? Dharma means his consciousness about his duties. Why I have got this human body? What is the goal? Only to earn little money and little bit of comfort, and one day I die leaving all these things over here? No, there may be something else. And that type of thought, the philosophical thought, this type of philosophical questions will naturally arise a consciousness within him, because it is very much there, it is very much present. So ultimate thing is that Master Mahashaya, he said, the present age has aggravated this stomach ori. Trying to imitate the English, people have turned their attention to more luxuries. The English means that time the British, they were the rulers of India. So ordinary people, the Indians, they used to imitate them. They used to think that they will live like that. So obviously you need lot of money. What do the English think about God? Sri Ramakrishna is interested to know about that. What do they think about God? Master Maharaj said they believe in a formless God. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna replied, that is also one of our beliefs. That is also one of our beliefs. It is not the only belief. It is not the only faith. It is not the only philosophy. One of our belief. And he was telling, one day I had the vision of consciousness. And he is giving the description of his own experience. It's not from the books, not from quoting from the scripture, his own experience. Friends, we will see in our next class how it is Sri Ramakrishna realized that which has been described in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures as the realization of the Brahman, the consciousness without any form. And Sri Ramakrishna's realization in this modern day world proves that ancient realization of the rishis were true, were correct. Thank you very much. Let us conclude today, and again we will study the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which I have given the name Panchama Veda, in the next Tuesday. Let us offer our pranam to Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.